was dining with your family, friends, and I need to get back to them.
Right. So, okay, I get it. So, yeah, and emergency is one thing, but on a regular basis, what are your opinions for that? Like every time we went to dinner, I was texting on my phone.
I think
That
you can text on your like other time, but in the dinner with your family, friends, you need to spend time talking with them and like yeah, you need to spend time to talk with them, not with your phone. So like
gotcha.
you need
Okay.
to respect everyone at the table and
Oh, there you go.
say the
Okay.
call say and say the one you were calling for like I'm have a group dining right now, so and just get back to everyone and enjoy the dinner.
So you mentioned respect. In an emergency, it's okay, but you should be spending time with the people you were at dinner with, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Bill?
I think I'll ask questions like, is the phone call complete emergency? Is it really important?
All right. So let's see. All right, but what are your reasons? So you are agreeing with this motion, right? That it's rude to talk on your cell phone while you're at the table. Okay, so we talked about, or Elijah talked about like it being an emergency is one thing, but that like it's disrespectful to be on a phone when you're at dinner with people, and that you should be spending time with the people that you're at the table with, whether it be friends or family. You know, you should be using that time to be with them. Do you have anything else to add to that? Like, look at what you wrote for why you would agree with this motion. And you also, well, oh, you weren't here when we were sharing, but what we went around about each other's opinions as to whether or not how they really feel about it. But we had talked about Elijah had said she did not think it was okay. Both Luna and Coy said it's okay for people to be on the cell phone while they're at the table, but Luna had, or Elijah had felt it was not okay. So, what is your opinion, Bill?
I think it's not okay to talk on the cell phone unless it's an absolute emergency, and it's actually kind of not polite to do that while you're eating with someone.
Okay, but why?
Because I think that could become a bad habit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it could be a bad habit. All right. So Coy and Luna, what did you come up with? Coy, Luna, somebody share. Why do you disagree? What are your arguments? Can y'all hear me? Anybody hear me? Or am I talking to myself?
I can hear you.
Okay. Like, all right. So then Luna, you
Oh.
go first.
I think we need to have a wage agreement because, like, in some group of families, if there's a consensus on the use of phones during meal that be accept, like in this special work or something like this, like when you need to work, but it's time to have a meet and your parents is done for a meet we need I think we can't use the phone on the table because we can work and eat on the time uh, is very is I think is not very rude and in some time is like have a I think it's done.
All right. So why don't you think it's rude then? You said because most families agree that people need to work and eat at the same time.
I don't say that. You know, I think do not any families agree with that because it seems rude because but we are busy to we are in a busy days. We need to work and have a meals in the same time to have a long time to work is I think is convenience for the people.
Okay. All right. Anything else? All right, Koi, what do you got?
I think it isn't rude. It isn't rude when you are talking at the table. Because I see that some families has busy work to run a family,
Okay.
and if and like like you're in a tough time and you need to work or you don't want to have anything to eat, and so so when we when talk like that can and the the emergency call and we have to talk at the table, so I think it isn't rude. And I also think that in some families tradition is okay to talk at the table, and in others they don't. So I think that they're not all of them. There are many people that think that they are rude to talk on their cell phone at the table, but some others don't. And I think we should respect all of that.
So I have a question, and then I guess this is another area for us to kind of think about. We've talked about a lot about like a lot of the examples you guys gave are like your parents and being very busy at work. What about you just talking to your friend? So you're all out, family sitting down for dinner, and Coy calls you, Bill, and you're like, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing?" And you're just sitting at the table with your family. Ah, nothing, dude. We're just having dinner. Yeah, what'd you do today? Oh, do you have go
Uh,
play basketball? Is that rude?
So I
I
think
mean, a lot of you guys talked about like family and work and like your parents are very busy and they're running jobs and okay. Well, what about just somebody who's on a casual conversation with their friend?
so I think it is rude.
You think that's rude?
I think it's rude because it's not actually important. You can talk about that later.
Okay. Okay.
I think
So-
we can go out to the table to talk with friends.
But then is it rude that you just got up and left your family?
Yes, it's rude.
You can
Like,
you can
peace out, Mom. I'm gonna go talk to my friend. All right. So now I would say that would be an area like Koi and Luna that you're gonna want to think about. When you are disagreeing, it is rude to talk on the cell phone while you're at the table. Because that would have been the first area, not the first area, but that would have been somewhere that I went, and if I were on the agreeing side that it's rude, that would be the first area that I went. I would say, oh, so it's not rude to just talk to your friend? You were already at school all day with your friend, and then you sit down to have dinner with your family, and you get on the phone with your friend again? So how would you counter that? I want you guys to think about that. Let me share, hold on. So these are some of the notes that I was taking while you guys were talking about your sides. So I want like Bill and Elijah, and again, this is, I can't put you in breakout rooms, so I'm trying to figure out how Bill and Elijah, you guys are going to work together to talk about these things. You talked about, again, one of the points that you made, Elijah, was a big point of respect. And so I want you to start thinking about how you're going to support that. What examples are you going to give? And that you should be spending time with the people that you're at dinner with. Can you, elaborate a little more? Can you give an example? Because remember, because now you're looking at how you're going to support these things that we wrote here, right? How are we going to support those? And Luna and Koi, these are the two that I gathered from the things you were saying. And I already went, I kind of already gave you the way that I would kind of pick that apart. So I want you to think about that and what would you come up with? Again, if I came back and I said, it's not rude, so what isn't it rude to be having a conversation with your friend? If you're sitting at the table with your grandmother and your grandfather and your parents, and you get on the cell phone and start talking with your friend who you've already seen at school all day. So, all right. Okay. So Bill and Elijah, you guys take a few minutes and start putting some notes down about these. Koi and Luna, this is kind of what you came up with. I spelled convenient wrong. Oh, and how are you going to back those things up? Does that make sense? So I'm trying to figure out how you would be doing what you would be doing now in your small group without putting you in a small group. We're gonna have to do it in the whole classroom.
Teacher,
Yes, Koi.
may I go toilet?
Yeah, hurry up. And you gotta come back and help Luna out here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So maybe Bill and Elijah, maybe you guys are private messaging each other? Trying to think about your arguments. I'm not quite sure how to go about doing this. So you guys are gonna have to help me figure this out. Because Bill and Elijah, you gotta work together to kind of start thinking about your arguments and what you're gonna, how you're gonna support. Are you guys working together? Are you PMing each other, or are we just sitting here? Because I don't really know what's happening. Can somebody answer me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to make sure you're working. And we're
Oh.
not just sitting here. All right. I'm gonna give you guys like 2 to 3 minutes to PM each other and work together. How's it going? Coy, are you back?
Yes,
All right, are you working? Are you working with Luna? You guys
I
keep
am chat.
messaging each other?
I am chat, but she didn't respond, so I don't know what to do.
Luna, you gotta respond. He said he sent you a chat. All right, 2 more minutes, guys.
I can see Huyen reply to me.
Oh, you don't see anything? All right. All right, well, we're gonna just see how this goes then. Okay. So we're gonna debate today whether or not the motion on the table is that it is rude to talk on your cell phone while you're at the table. Bill and Elijah, we will be presenting on that you agree with this motion and you believe that it is rude to talk on your cell phone. So who wants to go first? Bill or Elijah, which one of you are going first?
I think
All right, go ahead, Bill.
I think it's rude to talk on your cell phone while you're at the table because it's not polite. Other people think it's not polite because you're like you're like ignoring them, and it's a really bad habit to repeat it because what if you were talking right at a family dinner time and your parents don't like that habit.
Okay. All right, so Koi, Luna.
I think
Who's
that
gonna go first?
I think that it is not rude. It is not rude to talk on your cell phone while you're at a table. Because it is you have if you have a permission, or if it is if it is not a it is not a traditional, and it is emergency, then you can talk on the phone. Like if you ask mom and dad that, hey, I can talk on my phone. If they agree, then maybe you can talk. Um, if you have nothing to do, everyone don't talk to each other, maybe you can talk like that.
Okay. Elijah, it's your turn.
So I think we need to respect our family and friends, cause like we all know that they have to study, have to work, they have to spend many time on their work. They don't have much time spending time with us, like talking and dining, like enjoy the meal. But like when they're talking to each other, then suddenly we just ignore them and like let's say like how to this what's going on, and like it's very like uh it's very impolite, and like they even that they was talking to each other, they have to like stop the conversation because just of us. And like that's is also like a bad habit because somebody just say that it's okay, but we are family, we are friends, that's very okay if you say it. But like when you are eating at like your friend your parents' friend house, it's not your close your close people anymore. Like they we don't know each other, and they just think that you are very impolite. So like it's
Okay.
very, very, very good to like
Yeah.
talk when we have a dinner.
All right, thank you. All right. Luna, it's your turn.
I think if everyone is watching a video together or sharing information over the phone, this can be considered acceptable and even provide an opportunity to increase connecting and communicate. in some in some special events such as family meals, if you have annoyed an event that you need to check your phone for an important message, other often sympathy. Third, if you are in work meeting over the phone or receive an important call that this relate to work, that the use of the phone may be acceptable, but you should information and explain the situations in advance.
Okay. Questions. What do we think about questions? Elijah, do you have any questions for anybody? No. You gotta ask some questions, guys. All right. Bill, how about you?
Like they said, like the other team said that like the grown-ups, it's okay to eat while talking.
Mhm.
What if the call was just asking for advice or something?
Like, what if it's like not an important call? Like it could wait? Is that what you mean?
I think like we have not an important call, we can say that you can wait for a minute, because I think in my opinions, like listen the phone on the table, but in not important calls, it rude.
Okay. So
But
how
we
do you,
can get out of the table and listen to them. We can get out of the table. We do not listen them at the table.
so how do you know, like, so should you answer every call and then determine whether or not it's an important call? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you're not going to know if the call's an important call unless you answer the phone, right? Or the same thing like a text message. You don't know whether or not it's important unless you look at it. So is it okay to answer then every call that comes in while you're at the table or not? Like, how do you know?
I think it's not okay, because what if you're talking to your family or your friend about important stuff?
Hmm.
I think we don't know when is the phone call. We don't know is important or not. So is actually 15% at all.
So then that's, I guess that's the point of my question. So are you going to answer every call that comes then? So say we're at the table, we're at the table and my phone rings. I have to answer it every time. Hello. Oh, hi. Are you an important call? Oh, you're not an important call. Okay. We'll talk later. Bye-bye. Oh, hello. Are you an important call? Are you not an important call? Not important? We'll talk later. Hello. Are you an important call? I saw you laugh there, Luna. I know. See, I'm funny. How are you going to know if it's an important call or not an important call unless you answer it? And then that goes to my point. Do you answer the call every time someone calls? What if you're, you know, a popular person that day and people are just going to call you all day long? Coy, what do you think? Coy, are you there? Okay.
Maybe then we will stop receiving the call and let like if we are the important person or famous one, then we can let our like you have a lot of people go like go to do you some service, so you can tell them to answer the call, and if it's not important then don't tell them tell me.
Okay, so I'm going to use myself as an example. Okay. I have a very, like my job that I do, my other job is pretty important, but I don't have a service that answers calls for me. I don't do that. I also have 4 children. So, you know, somebody could be calling with an emergency for that. But I also have a daughter who just sometimes gets bored and decides to call me in the middle of the day because she's bored. How do I know if it's an important call or not an important call? I don't have a service. My phone is just going to ring. I could be out to dinner with my husband and some friends, but my phone could ring. It might be work. It might be my daughter. It might be one of my children. It might be a parent of one of my students. And it could be any of one of those things. My daughter could be having an emergency, or she could just be bored and wanted to talk.
So
How do I know?
so
What do I
maybe,
do?
so maybe like me sometime I let my phone number out,
Mhm.
and the salesman just call me like every day to so this is our this is our new project, can you buy it?
Right.
So like I have to answer every call because I don't know, and when I take the phone I hear that if they were a salesman then I will not answer them, and if it my like some of important that they said that I go to prison, then I have to answer that call.
Right. So again, I don't know that there's a right or wrong answer for this one because it's hard, right? I guess it is like, I agree that if it's an emergency, you know, you need to answer the phone. But I also, but you know, to sit at the table and have a friendly conversation when you are out with other people, I think is rude, right? Because you're out with other people to spend time with them. And if you're on the phone, then you're not, you know, having a conversation with somebody else, you're not spending time with them, right? So it's that's a tough call. But all right, we are actually almost out of time. So we are going to, we didn't read the article, did we? Tuesday. I'm pretty sure
No.
we didn't read it. Yeah. So we're going to read the article real quick. And then we're going to look at our prompt for our next class. Okay. So modern life. So many things are fast and easy these days. You can send your thoughts to someone in an instant. So like, I can send you a message through the chat box and you'll have it in a second, right? I can send a message in an instant, my thoughts in an instant, or heat up your food in a minute with a microwave oven. You can talk to your friend while she's riding in a car and you're at school. Probably not a safe idea, but that's okay. We won't talk about that. This may not sound like anything new, but computers, microwaves, and cell phones have changed the way we live a lot in the past 30 years. So you guys don't even remember what life was like without a cell phone, do ya? Cell phones have been around since you guys were born, but they weren't always here. Okay. Some people say that modern life has brought too much stress. They say that the faster things change, the more stress we experience. In the past, it took many years to make things a little faster or easier. Today, change is quicker than ever before. In 1925, there was no TV and certainly no computer. People had to wash the dishes by hand and do many chores. My goodness. What would they do with the rest of their evening? They might listen to the radio. The radio was new and popular in the 1920s. Families would gather and listen to the radio. They found it amazing and exciting to hear voices coming out of it. 70 years later, so think about that. Can you guys imagine that? Can you imagine just sitting with your family in front of the radio and everybody just listening to the radio and that was your entertainment?
Radio or both.
Like a radio, like I'm gonna get you a picture.
It's like something.
I know the radio, but I hear it and it's very bored.
Yeah,
I have to download.
But yes, like this, look.
yeah,
This is what families used to do in the 1920s
we
for
can
entertainment.
we can only hear it, that's all. And like people, like the daily weather and stuff.
Right, so they would listen to the radio for their entertainment. That's what they would do with their families. Okay. So again, that's kind of the point. Okay. 70 years later, people began using the internet. So the internet, again, you guys have always had it, but it's not that old. So the 1990s changed the way people learn and have fun. Today, everyone is busy texting, emailing, or playing video games. There is no time for something as old-fashioned as sitting around the living room together. Is life really better now? For most of us, it's all we know. It's almost impossible to imagine life any other way. So that was kind of the points of your debate, and even to like Coy said, one of the things that he said that I found really interesting is, to him, it's normal. Now, his mother is very busy, but it's normal. And that's kind of what the point of this is that it's kind of become normal for kids to sit at the table and be on their cell phones, either texting their friends or playing video games or things like that, because again, that's just the way things are, right? Okay. And so, I gotta give you your prompt. All right. Our next unit is going to be on animal testing. Do you guys know what animal testing is?
Test on animal.
A test on animals. You
Like
test
what kind?
you test like chemicals or something on animals to see if it's safe or not.
Right. There's
So-
chemical reaction.
Right, to see if there's a chemical reaction. And so, yes, they test products on animals before they give them to humans to see if they're safe. Okay, this is always a huge debate, and things like that, because some people think it's cruel, some people think it's, well, again, the benefits, right? Do we want to test it on a human? Right? How are we going to know if it's safe? We have to test it on something, right? We'd rather test it on a human than test it on another person and have something happen to a person. Other people say that, animals are living creatures too, and it's not fair to make them suffer. And it's unethical. So, there's lots of controversy about animal testing. And so that is going to be our next unit, is about animal testing. So your prompt is going to be, in the future, animal testing will continue to play a big part of our lives. So what are the advantages of that? So again, the advantages of continuing to test on animals as we continue to advance and come up with more and more things and more products. What are the disadvantages? Why would you disagree with that? Are there other ways that we can test products? Think about how quickly science is evolving, right? Maybe in the future, they come up with other ways and we don't have to test on animals anymore, because again, science is evolving so quickly now. Okay, so again, you're going to do number 3. In the future, animal testing will continue to play a big part of our lives. Any questions? No? Do you guys need me to
No.
send it in the chat?
Yeah.
Yes? All right. I'll send it in the chat real quick. All right. And then, wait, where'd my screenshot go? Ugh. All right, I'm just going to type it. In the future, animal testing will continue to play a big part in our lives. All right, you got it? Yes?
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, I will see you on Tuesday.
Okay, goodbye.
All right, bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.